So if you have your stack of torches in your hand and you jump into two block deep water, it'll extinguish all your torches. So, you know, don't do that. Oh, this playing with the map stuff is so weird to me. Let's go ahead and mark this too. It's not too super far away. Uh-oh. Let's not mark this because we're getting shot at. I have to find clay closer to home. It's unfortunate timing. Whoops. Let's travel the right direction here. Don't want to extinguish all my torches while I'm far from home. Oh boy. I like having distinctive landforms nearby for orienteering when I'm playing without the map. So having that weird looking mountain range over there, that's only partially filling in. It is helpful for orienteering when I'm not doing the map thing. Alright, so we're back. Fire's still going, almost out. Need to chop another tree. And our knife is almost gone. Okay. Did I get enough? I did not get enough. I don't think that's enough for even a single basket. I forget the design. H. Read chest. Yeah, we need 24. I'm short. It is medium rift activity. Hello. Already? Ah, shit. There's a drifter. Okay. Damn guys. Well, that is unfortunate. Our currents are going bad. 20% spoiled. So you can eat spoiled food. It's just lowering the nutritional value by the spoilage amount. So you don't get poisoned or anything like that. Well, we have enough for one reed basket. He's not going to let me even nap tools in here. I hate getting stuck inside for the night. You lose so much time where you could get stuff done. We've gotten kind of unlucky with the rift activity here locally. I'm thinking about sleeping. I'm debating it. I don't like to do it, and to answer the earlier question about why don't you sleep at night, because I lose so much time to get stuff done. It's a massive waste. What you want to do is get a shelter set up as quick as possible, your own shelter, not living inside of this guy's place, where you can actually use the nighttime hours, be protected, because the bad guys can't get into buildings. They don't break blocks or anything. So just putting up a little dirt structure around yourself makes you safe. Just put a torch on the wall and get a campfire down and a hay bed if you need to. But the reason to do that really quickly is so that during the day you make sure you gather up the resources you need, and then you can spend all night napping tools and forming clay and doing that kind of stuff. So you lose no productivity time. Every time you sleep, you're losing huge amounts of productivity time. You're wasting vast amounts of your actual available game time. Now, depending on your difficulty options and your world settings and your knowledge of the gameplay, you may or may not care as much about that. Early game, brand new players, sleep. Just go to sleep. Nighttime is stupid dangerous, as you saw. Just go to sleep. But as you get more familiar with the game, like I said, dig enough dirt, make a little mud hut, squat in your hut, and do your clay forming, do your napping of tools, do all the rote stuff, and use the daytime hours for exploring and gathering and mapping and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because we have so much stuff we have to do. All right, let's sleep. I don't want to listen to this guy for the next 8 hours. That sure sounds like I'm getting shot at. One more time pulse. All right, wake me up. 6:30. 7:30. Now, sometimes, depending on the shadows and so on, they may not go away immediately. So, you know, when you leave your shelter, leave running. And hope you're clear. All right, we're clear. And the rift activity's calm again. So with... Yeah, it's that goddamn spider in the daytime again. I don't know how fast they are in the water. You might catch me anyway. I'm going to get annoyed at this thing. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. Can you climb? This is a problem. What the hell? Oh, now you're gonna fall over and twitch? What was that movement? He's waiting to ambush me from behind the tree. Oh, is that him over there? This dude don't want to die. Apparently he don't go away in the sunlight. That's a big problem. Do some healing. Oh, they changed the healing. Oh, that's a big change since I was last played. Now it's heal over time effect, and it takes a long time to queue up. Used to be you could heal real fast, back to full. Look at this. Progress bar first, and then it color codes my hit point bar to show what it's going to heal up to. Oh, that's a massive change. Yeah, that has very serious consequences compared to previously. Yeesh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's going to take some adjustment. That's why I was after the horsetail earlier, because it makes the horsetail poultices, reeds and horsetail. Okay, well, I guess I could do some napping up here. Let's add another spot. And while we're sitting up here, we'll nap some flint. Let's do another replacement knife blade. And I need another shovel. I need to do a lot of shoveling, get a lot of dirt, and get my initial shelter up. We just need to hang out. Oh, and the wolves have arrived. All right, game. I see what you're doing here. You're trying to make me look bad. I am out of sticks. I can't make the tools without the sticks. And that's just going to pop back into my inventory. I'm less worried about the wolves than I am that stupid spider. That spider is so stupid fast. Yeah, what to do here? Yeah, let's pop off the... Can't even make my shovel. I hate birch trees. If you look closely, you can see the sticks in the ones that are going to have them. Like right there, you can see kind of the brownish parts. So if you get fairly close and you know what you're looking for, you don't have to wave your mouse over everything. Keep hitting tab to try to open my inventory, or my crafting screen. That's not the right button. We're going to need more of lots of things. Alright, I got to decide where I'm going to try to put up a little mud hut. Typically, I like to set it up on flat ground on a plane like this. Nice flat ground so I can see a long distance in every direction. But I also like to have water nearby. We don't got water here. I don't have any water. Maybe I can do it over here. I like to be somewhat in proximity of this. That's even if I want to live here. I'm still almost convinced to not live here, but we've already located the copper. I really probably should. All right, go back this way for a second. Where's that? We got the pond right there. I could shave this hill down to make this area flat too, and I'll need the dirt anyway. This gets me closer to the scrub. Yeah, it wouldn't take much effort to shave this back. I think I'll just go ahead and set up right here near the pond. So, let's get a little hut started. How do I want to do this? Do the full first room? That's going to take a lot of effort. I need to go get some more food. My berries are rotten. I got some flax grain, and that's about it. Trying to remember, what dimensions did I use? 9x9? Interior? Already forgotten. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give me the center point and then 4 in each direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I do need this down. And then center point, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We'll assume 9x9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Space. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, we're going to need a lot more dirt. Damn raccoons been eating all the cranberries. I think I remember there were some mushrooms over here. There's some cranberries. They're not great, but I'm currently using what I refer to as the starvation diet. 10 will keep me going for a while. It's good having these ruins nearby, too. Both for the possible containers, as well as the stone itself that we can take apart to use later to upgrade our little mud hut. Alright, we'll search through this stuff later. I'm not grabbing all the cranberries because they spoil, and I don't want them to spoil. Leaving them on the bush means raccoons might get them, but it's guaranteed to spoil if I actually pick them up. Alright, so we've got a little bit of food. Let's get my container down. I desperately need to put some stuff into a container and just pick a wall here. Oh, 8 whole slots. 24 reeds for 8 whole slots. You and you and you. You I'm going to throw basically things that I'm not going to use near term. Yeah. Yeah, let's just eat the flax. So for knowledge for newer players, you've got a food bar listed right here. When it hits 0, you start getting these little noises. You can pick how your character sounds when you do character generation, but we're taking little ticks of damage because of hunger. So the starvation diet is let your bar go to 0. When you start taking damage like now, eat one thing. Just one of anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So I'm going to eat one of these flax grains. So that puts a tiny bit of food on our bar. We got 30 out of 1,500 now. Now what happens is when you hit 0 and then you eat anything, the game gives you a temporary reprieve from the hunger mechanic. It won't deplete the bar for a period of time. And you get to use that to your advantage. So if I keep eating and I fill the bar, that's great and all, but it'll then deplete back to 0 and I'll instantly start taking damage. If I let it go to 0, eat one thing, I then get this long pause in the bar ever going back down again. So you want to use that free long pause. So just let your hit points go to 0. When you start taking damage, eat one thing, and then just note how long it takes before the bar starts moving again. Now, there are, for some reason, every once in a while it doesn't work, and you'll almost immediately start getting pecked again. But believe me, it works. I mean, I've only eaten a very, very small number of things, and we're in day 3 already. So just you'll see what I mean here. Hopefully it works this time. So we'll keep that. We'll keep those. We've got tools. I need more sticks because we're going to need more tools. We've got danger in the forest. I would love to get at least one more basket up, but that's more time. I need to dig dirt so I can at least get these walls up to 3 high and then put some doors on. And I only really need one door currently, so I may fill in these other spots. So unfortunately, that means we're going to be doing a lot of digging. So let's just shave off this hill here. So I need to get the walls about 3 high. None of the enemies can climb. I don't think the spiders can climb. He didn't come up after me there. It has been a little bit since I last played, and as my amazement at the new healing mechanic shows, they've made some adjustments that I haven't dealt with yet. But yeah, the enemies don't break blocks. You don't have to worry about them knocking your door down or anything like that. There's no block damage. So you just need to get walls. They don't drop from the sky. They do appear if you have storms turned on, but I turned the stupid storms off because they're stupid. Don't play with storms, kids. They're just dumb. Once you know how they work, you can easily avoid them, and they're just pain and frustration and idiocy in the way they're implemented. So, you know, don't bother. Unless, of course, you're not playing Iron Man and you don't mind dying and you know how to reset your start position and you can respawn. Then it doesn't matter so much. But for Iron Man players, they're just absolutely terrible. All right. Oh, we're going to spend so much time napping. This is what you want to be doing at night. So you don't have to stop and do it during the daytime. We need to get some bunch of sticks. Stick collecting is actually the worst activity in the early game. Oh my god, the sticks. It alleviates once you can get to copper tools, but oh, the stick nightmare. Right now, my priority is just getting the walls up and getting the doors on. How's our food bar doing? Oh, it finally started going back down again. Now, your activity level also affects your hunger rate and your burn rate. So if you're sprinting around everywhere, you burn more calories, that kind of thing. But if you're using the starvation diet, you don't care. Now, there is a consequence to using the starvation diet, because the way you raise your hit points... I can't pause while doing this, but the way you raise your hit points is by filling in these different food type bars. So by eating fruit, we raise the fruit bar, the vegetable bar, the grain bar, protein bar, and dairy bar, etc. Your progress in a bar is going to give you bonus hit points. So we started at 10 hit points max. I'm at 10.3 because I filled this bar in a little bit. If we can fill the fruit and then fill the vegetable, which you can do pretty easily. Grain's a little tougher early game, but you can manage it. Protein, you can do. Dairy, forget about it. Dairy's long range thing. But you can get these 4 bars filled without too much difficulty, and you'll end up getting hit point bonus. So you'll get up to, I think, like 22, 24 from a base starting 10. So I'm foregoing hit point increases in favor of not having to deal with food constantly. That's the negative for using the starvation diet. But I think it's super beneficial in the early game. How we doing? Let's make some stacks here. We got 2.5 more stacks. See how much progress we can make here. Oops. That's fine. Come on now. I hear you, Wolfie. All right. Next up. The doors that fall off the hinges. I need, I forget what they were called. Primitive. Everything, please. Was it primitive something or other? We've got that mod on that gives me 1,000,000 primitive things. Door. Not those, not those. Or was it gates? I think maybe it's gates I'm thinking of. Damn it. Forget the name of it. I can't actually make doors because we don't have certain parts. So we don't have nail strips. But there's a primitive version that we can make. I just can't remember the name of it. Alright, whoa. Stop rolling there. Let me go. Come here, you. No, I don't want firewood. Crude? Is crude the word I'm looking for? Crude might be it. Nothing crude coming up on the list there. I'm burning a lot of time trying to find this stupid thing. Oh, it is crude door. Why did crude not come up on the other list? Huh. Alright, so yeah, sticks and some logs. We've got the logs. I just need to go get the sticks. Alright, where can I grab sticks that's not deep in the forest? I love gathering sticks. Looking straight up into a tree, not noticing things creeping up on you. So generally the sticks are going to be close to the trunk. Kind of depends on the tree and the age of the tree. But usually, mostly, you want to stick close to the trunk. Too tall. Oak trees are great. This one's not big enough. You'll have different stick densities depending on the tree type. Problem is you need sticks for so many things. All right, hopefully that's enough for the moment. So, it was, what, axe in the corner, logs there, and sticks down the side. There we go. There is a downside to these doors. They tend to pop off the hinges. So, be advised. Let's have the door on the outside. Very first use. Very first use. It popped off the hinges. So, you know, that could be dangerous. I don't know what the exact percentage is for it happening, but it will happen. All right, so we got that done. Let's see, I need one more layer, and then that'll be the roof, so I can put that there. Let's go, oops. We're losing the light again. Damn, time is passing so fast. All right, let's put another... I keep missing. I'll just do 2 torches for now. Okay. Let's get rid of some grass. Come on, Rift activity. Go back to calm. All right, got the interior cleaned up. Hey, food bar. Still not having to eat. Okay, we're going to need more dirt. I'd like to get the roof on, just to have it on. So, we'll risk getting killed by staying out here and digging. So we need to find clay. I didn't get a chance to mark that clay we passed earlier. I was hoping to get it marked and run back to it. We need to find some clay, so at night I can do a whole bunch of clay forming. So again, so we don't lose a bunch of productivity time. Not enough of either soil type. That's funny. Alright, go grab a couple of more of each. Okay. We got that stuff done. Let's finish getting the roof on. Yeah, I'll fill in the outside corners later. All right, we're now the proud owner of an enclosed mud hut. No, this is in-game music. It's been around forever. All right, 1 second. Yeah. All right. So, at least one more reed chest is needed. So to get the copper stuff going, we've got other stuff we need to get done, mostly involving lots of clay. Let's see. I need reeds for a few more health pulses and more sticks, of course. Let's go ahead and get some... Actually, let's make a couple of those with my very valuable sticks. Oh, put you on the wall over here. All right, I'm going to make a bunch of tools. This is what nighttime is for. Just sitting in your little mud hut. And this one's a little bigger than you might want to do if you're new. You don't need anything nearly this big. This is just the standard size that I do for my initial mud hut. And I do 4 quadrants just like this. So this would be quadrant 1. And then quadrant 2 might be over there. And quadrant 3 in that corner. And quadrant 4 out that way. That's just the way I tend to do it. And then I have like 1 quadrant set up as my kitchen, 1 set up as my general main storage, 1 for tanning and butchery, and 1 for the blacksmith area. With underground food storage usually. Sometimes I put a garden or a beehive on the roof. I stopped doing the roof beehive because the noise drove me crazy. But we'll see what we get to. Okay, more tools. Let's just get this done. I want to make like 2, I'm not sure how many of each, 3 of each probably. By now, I should already be pretty well into clay crafting, but some things delayed me. Uh-oh, is that a bad guy I heard out there? I also need to get a charcoal pit started. So many things. Love to go out and chop some trees if there's no activity. Man, we can die fast. Yeah, bees aren't hard to find once you know what to listen for. Just run through or near forest areas and you'll hear the bees. Turn off your music, turn off whatever other sound you got going on. Headphones helps. We had some problems finding bees last run. It was weird. We had to travel so much to find the bees. But you only need to find 1. As soon as you find 1 tree with bees in it, you're golden. That's all you need. Okay, managed to get the first section up, and I still got 55 for use. That's great. We got plenty of flint. Sticks is still the main problem. And there's no easy way to get sticks, and I especially hate sticking in the dark. Let's do a few more of the tools. One more of each, I think. Because of my limited storage space, I gotta be careful how many things we make until I can get other things done. It's kind of an incremental process you have to go through. You can't just grab everything and try to stockpile it. You just will not have space. I think that's good. Let's do one more knife. I mean, it is possible to kill some of the early monsters. You just got to be really cautious. The spider would be a nightmare to try to kill right now, but the other ones are not too tough, the surface versions. I hear you out there, somebody. I need to get a ladder put in so I can get up on the roof and take a look at things down below. Alright, so there's 2 of each spare. I've got 1 of each plus an extra here in my inventory. It's just after midnight. We got a few hours to spend, and I don't have a lot of other work I can do right now. Do I spend precious sticks making a ladder? Like so. Yeah, I don't need both of these. Oh well, whatever. Hopefully nothing shows up and starts shooting me. I don't have as many spares as I thought because I hadn't finished the roof edges. All right. Do I put a hatch on? Can I do a hatch yet? Not called a hatch? Why is this thing... Trapdoor. Yeah. That's what I forgot. I keep forgetting the names of things. And it doesn't really matter which one I select. Solid trapdoor. Graded trapdoor. I think they changed that too. Don't have boards. Yeah, I don't think I can do a hatch yet. All right. No problem. We'll just plug it. I want my torches back. All right, so something to know about torches. They last a set amount of time, and then they go out. But if you break them and pick them up and then put them back down again, they reset the timer. So you got 2 days to get rid of or to replace the torch. So that one's burning down. There's no way to see a timer or anything on it. But if you just break it and then replace it, it resets the timer. So you'll see me occasionally running around just redoing my torches. Okay, what else can we do? 1:30 in the morning. I think my food bar is still going down super slow. We're down to 2, so we will need to eat soon. But you can see just how long it's taken for that one thing of food I ate. That one grain has lasted this long. Yeah, not much left I can do unless I decide to go outside. No, I'm not going to be hunting for a while. We can live on ridiculously low amounts of food, as long as I just don't fight anything. So I'm not worried about hunting. We're not there yet. I don't have storage for that kind of stuff. I'd like to get enough reeds to get one more basket down. Then I need to get clay. I need to make sure I get some clay sourced so we can do clay forming at night. I got to get enough trees down that I can get a charcoal pit going, even a small one, so we can get charcoal. I got to get the clay forming going so we can fire the clay forms, the forms for the tools and all that, and the crucible and the bowls, and we got a ton of clay forming to do. So that's kind of the order of events. I need to get those major things done. One more basket. Just enough leftover reeds to make more healing poultices. Then chop and stack a bunch of firewood. Get a fire pit, or a charcoal pit going. And while the charcoal pit's burning down, I need to be grabbing and forming and getting all the clay stuff ready. So, what's the starvation thing you're doing? I talked about it a little earlier, but the starvation diet is what I refer to it as. Normally, if you eat food, you fill up your bar here, and then the bar starts to go back down to 0. And it'll do that fairly quickly, especially on berries and stuff like that. And the benefit to eating food is you fill up these different types of nutrition bars, and you get bonus hit points the farther you fill the bars. That's great. But early game, when food might be an issue, especially if you're new to the game, what you want to do is just let your food go to 0, like it currently is. It just hit 0. And here, pretty soon, right now, it'll start honking at me, depending on what voice you chose for your character. And we're losing a tiny bit of hit points each time it does that. So the trick is grab one and only one piece of food. Go ahead and eat that. It'll fill your bar a tiny bit, 30, and that's it. What happens is, when you hit the starvation mode, it puts a pause. It gives you kind of a hidden buff where it halts the degradation of your food bar, and you want to take advantage of that time frame that they give you. So, right now, this isn't going to move from 30, it's going to not start decaying for an extended period of time. I think we went 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. I forget how long it's been since we ate the last piece of grain. We made it through most of the day on a single piece of grain because of this starvation mechanic. So just let your food go to 0. When it starts honking at you, eat one piece of anything. Doesn't matter what it is. You don't care about the nutritional value. All you care about is that it's going to trigger the starvation debuff or starvation buff, and you'll get this really long extended period where your food bar won't move. If you filled your bar, that debuff period would be happening while your bar was... It doesn't work when you fill your bar with food, basically. I forget how to explain it exactly, but this is great for early game. I mean, you want to later, once you have stabilization and you have food available, you want to be filling all those bars so you can raise your hit points. But in the super early game, just go on the starvation diet. And the hilarious thing is, and I've pointed this out to the devs, and it's, I mean, they know about it. It's not a hidden thing. The hilarious thing is, you start the game on the starvation diet. Once you have food available of the different types, then you start gorging to fill those bars. When you manage to fill the bars and you get those hit points, go back to the starvation diet. You can maintain the starvation diet and keep all those bars full simultaneously. So you'll use vastly less food if you do that. Starve early, get established, fill all the bars, then go back into starve mode, and the little bits of food that you eat will be enough to keep the hit points but you won't eat nearly as much. So it's ridiculously effective. I don't know if they ever plan on changing it. It's not like a secret or a hidden thing. I've been talking about it for years and years and demonstrating it and had discussions about it, and the devs know all about it. I mean, it's a built-in mechanic, so there you go. That's the starvation thing. Okay. So, yeah. But this is what I was talking about earlier for newer players. You want to get even a tiny hut, even if you just do one that's just like 3x3 interior space and you're just huddled here and you have a hay bed and you have a campfire and just one space that you can do napping with. You can get a mud hut wall around you on the first night. And that way on the first night, you could be napping your various tools and doing clay forming and all that kind of stuff. Don't sleep. Never sleep unless you absolutely have to. So, no problem. Happy to explain. I always do tutorial stuff, and I'm always happy to answer questions. So, you know, anybody out there that has questions, new to the game, just curious why I do or don't do what you might do in game, feel free to ask. I usually have explanations. 4 o'clock. It's about bright enough. We should be okay to go out. There might be critters out here. Looking pretty clear. We're on low rift activity. We might get a good sunrise. Sometimes you get just absolutely amazing visuals with the color palettes, as especially at sunrise and sunset. Sun's starting to peek up over the horizon there. And we're starting to get the color gradations. Sometimes they're just amazing. It depends on, I think, the time of year and the biome you're in and cloud and rain and just all sorts of things. But it's got some really, really cool visuals. And it has a full seasonal palette. So as time passes, the grass is slowly going to yellow and then go to kind of a burnt orange. And eventually we'll get full snow and snow cover. The world setup. You can build the world when you create your game to use all sorts of different world settings for the distances between the equator and the poles and so on. You can have Arctic environments you can play in if you'd like, and huge swampy areas that are super hot, and the crops all have different temperature values that they prefer, and just tons and tons of cool stuff. The only thing it's not great at is combat. It's pretty janky and limited in the combat stuff. So if you're a combat junkie, this is not the game for you. This is more about exploration and crafting and survival and advancing through a progression of different material types, from stone to copper to bronze to iron to steel, etc. And the systems get more and more complex and convoluted as you proceed up through those processes. They've started in recent years to add storyline stuff with specific locations you can visit to do dungeon type stuff and so on. And there's vast underground caverns and stuff you can go exploring. Hints of the previous civilization that was in the world and that. So there's some lore and all that, but it's very much not a combat game. That's its weakest point, is the combat stuff. But it's not really focused on that end. There is some. And especially if you're playing modded, it's extremely friendly for mods. It's built by modders, so from the ground up, when they started designing it and coding the engine and so on, it's built with mods in mind. So there's a big mod scene. I'm playing, and I showed at the beginning of the stream all the mods that I'm using currently. But, I mean, you just go to the mod website, click one button, and it installs the mod for you. You're done. And when you start your game, here, I'll even show. We've got a bunch of people that have probably joined in since I started the stream. Bum, bum, bum. We'll just bounce out real quick. So you got a mod manager right here on the front end. Here's my mods. The ones with the blue dot are the ones I've got enabled. I've got a couple of them turned off that I'm not using, but these are the mods. And in chat, you can just type !VS mods to see a list of the mods, and VS settings will give you a list of the world settings I'm using. But for you know, visual confirmation, those are the mods I'm using, and YouTube folks can see it when I send this over there. But yeah, so I mean, if you don't want to use a mod, just turn it off, or you can open the mods folder, and it'll show you all the mods. They're just a single zip file, and you can just delete it, and then it won't be on this list anymore. You go to the website and you hit it, one-click install. It'll copy it into the mods folder and turn it on, and you're ready to go. Super easy. Super, super convenient. So, pop back into the world. Why you choose not to hunt early? Hunter packs. Slightly better than baskets. Yeah. The hunter backpack, the leather backpack. There's lots of stuff. So don't worry. We will do some hunting. I just don't need to do hunting now. I'm also playing just a generic character class with no abilities. So I'm not the hunter class. I don't have a bow. I don't have access to the bows and such. And there's extremely few animals around. How many animals have you seen so far? We've seen some chickens and a baby goat. All the running around we've done. No single, not a pig. I think maybe we spotted one antelope. So what do you want me to be hunting? The wolves? The spiders? There's just not a lot out there either. So I'm not worried about it. Whoa. Well, that was a weird color shift. Huh. Oh, I reloaded. The reloading will cause the starvation debuff to reset. So we got to eat something again. It canceled my starvation buff. There's something else that'll do it too. I'm trying to remember what else triggered it. There's some other game activity that you do that will trigger the debuff. It'll turn it off, essentially. I can't remember what it was now. It'll come back to me at some point. All right. So yeah, we got stuff we need to do. What did I talk about? Oh yeah, one more basket. So let's get some more reeds. Hey, we got mushrooms on the tree there. Jumping into water is one of the more dangerous things you can do if there's possibly enemies nearby. Because it's really hard to get out and get moving to escape them with low hit points and no weapons, really. While you're sitting in water. So, you know, be relatively certain you don't have any enemies nearby before you do this. Alright, we need 24 of these for another basket. They do regrow. And you can plant them, so if I dig up the bottom portion of the plants, we get the roots. You can either cook and then eat the roots for a food source. I don't recommend it, but as an emergency, you can do that. But it takes a really long time to cook them, and they're a pain in the ass. But it also allows you to replant them. So if I go to a faraway version and dig up the roots, I can bring them back here and I can plant them. You don't have to plant them in water, as you see up on the bank there. You can plant them pretty much anywhere that's not, maybe even on stony soil. I don't remember. I just tend to plant them for thematic reasons in the water nearby where I always make my little base. I am playing with a survival mod. I could be doing fishing and a lot of other stuff, but I'm not going to do. Oh, we're up to 29. That's fine. We'll get a few extras so I can make some more healing poultices. Okay, let's get out of here. So,